It's pretty much like was 1963. First time here and not knowing what I was going to expect, and quiet, unusually quiet for kids in the hall. You know, talking about school-age kids. Both sides of the aisle was full of kids, and as I walked in the steps behind me, it got quiet outside as I got off the bus. Stepped up, kids on the stairwell here, looked down, saw me, stopped talking. And I started to walk, and I could hear my footsteps as I walked. It was that quiet as I walked down the steps. And I'm walking, moving along, and as I moved forward, it got quiet. Every kid behind me had stopped talking, were not talking. It got quieter and quieter. Rooms full of kids. And I needed to find the administration office. That's the first thing I needed to do. And I was on my way for the first time, first day of school, fall 1963. Wow. It took a little icing to be broken in a classroom by the students that were with me. In fact, the teacher in my class made every effort to make sure that the students realized that I was there to learn and not be part of something else that was bigger than what I was aware of. And he made it clear. And he was a good guy. He was one of the good guys. I think that I really liked him. But it took some time from even my classmates, the ones that I was immediately with, all boys, no girls at the time, to break the ice. And it took one. And the one that broke the ice was my neighbor at the desk named Bob Partee. And he broke the ice. The others talked to him. He became my intermediary, in fact, in some way. And eventually some of the others started to interact with me. And we got along okay in the classroom. We did fine. I didn't see them out of the classroom, just in the classroom. But other than that, never talked with anyone else on the campus except one occasion. On one occasion, there was one girl. And imagine me sitting where I am now, and she's sitting at the farthest desk away from me. She would come in early sometimes, just before everyone else would come in. And she would sit away and ask me, "Hi, how are you doing? My name is." And I'd tell her my name, and we'd talk from this distance. And before anyone else would get in the room, she'd get up and leave and go away, then come in with the rest of the class. And over time, she moved from the farthest desk to eventually coming to one of the closer desks. She just kept walking away, more confidence in our conversations, not fearing anything. And again, I knew she broke the ice probably for herself and probably for a lot of her friends. But she was probably one of the more braver ones in the community in this school, at least, to sit and talk with me, just to have a conversation, So it was really remarkable just to think about her in this context, looking back now. But she was one of the more braver ones to do that. But there was a bathroom in here. This used to be my classroom. This room was twice as long as it is now. And in fact, I can remember I sat right about here. I was sitting where I was standing at my desk, and I heard a loud bang. And a bullet was shot through this wall by someone. And I remember immediately seeing a horde of men run in the room. All teachers and whomever, the principal was one of those. And the principal asked me to get up and get in the middle of the group, and I want you to walk with us quickly down to the office. We immediately went down to the office. And I remember looking around, and it was panic. It was crazy. I mean, it was wild in here. They locked the school down, and there was immediate panic, looking and searching and looking for something or someone. But I remember that morning, though, there was a kid out on the north side with a dog, with a German Shepherd. And he brought the dog inside up the steps. I thought it was kind of weird at the time. I just didn't understand it. I thought school's different. They're different from what I'm used to. Bringing a dog in. But that was the kid that brought the gun in and came into the bathroom and shot in the wall while I was sitting. I was doing fine in class. Academically, I was fine. I did okay. But the other stuff, the personal stuff, the animus, I just couldn't deal with that because there was nobody to support me at this point. At least the ones I thought would be there to support me. Maybe they didn't know. For some reason, these kids all knew when I was going to leave. I'd walk out of here right around lunchtime, and I mean, things were thrown out of the window, you name it, they found it to throw. Names called, everything. You could think of it, they called it. But I never fought it, but I was calling the office at the old school one day before I left and said, are you going to class? And I told them, no, I wasn't. Why? And, one thing led to another, and they said, well, we need you to go back and give it a shot, work at it. And I believe it was Principal Dupree at that time who was the principal. Give it a shot, keep working at it. We'll support you. If you need to have help, we'll find a way to do it. But, I came back and I had a talk with my teacher, and he talked about the military, talked about things that, how the military was and how things have changed. And you're setting, precedent now with these changes at this level. So it's just part of the society changing the way it thought about things. I'm standing on the shoulders of giants before me. They're standing on the shoulders of the generation of my group. But overall, I'm still finding some pockets of discontent, challenge to move forward that has not been worked out. And we still have a long ways to go.